Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Friday, June 18th, at 8:26 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 696 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. It's a real freedom to forgive. Exonerated Idaho death row inmate finally compensated. Governor Little, Idaho tax dollars belong in Idaho, not on a fool's errand at Mexico border. How Missouri conservatives' favorite law could lead to defunding Kansas City police. Giant rhino taller than a giraffe could be largest ever land mammal. Pornhub videos, women sue, alleging lack of consent. Biden suspends Trump's 25% tariff on Scotch whiskey, but UK tariffs on US bourbon remain. Kim Jong-un, North Korea must be ready for confrontation with US. Teen buys contents of repossessed storage units, then returns everything to the original owners. The House votes to repeal 2002 military authorization for the Iraq War, with Biden's blessing. New bodycam video shows ex-NIP cop wielding a flagpole and tackling a police officer during the Capitol riot. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Alarming COVID surge cools Russia's football fever, BBC News. Storage war star Jared Schultz denies pushing X, gearing up for trial, TMZ. Top Israeli military official warns about renewed fighting with Hamas, report, Fox News. Danish meme stock Orphazyme plunges after drug setback, Reuters. I just had fun with it, Bryson DeChambeau video bombs Brooks Koepka interview at US Open, CNN International. Nets vs Bucks, how two timely runs from Chris Middleton kept Milwaukee alive and forced Game 7, CBS Sports. After dark, Rick Carlisle leaves the Mavericks as well, Mavs Moneyball. Hannity questions why Biden's staff doesn't let him answer questions, Fox News. Mark Levin calls for firing of Naval Chief, he's pushing a racist book by Marxist Kendi, Fox News. Best Buy, Target and Starbucks are among the companies celebrating Juneteenth as PTO or holiday pay, USA Today. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. 94-year-old has off-the-chain response to new Juneteenth holiday. Screaming like a banshee, Congressman reveals true terror of GoPros downplaying riot. My Pillow guy loses it on Jordan Klepper's Daily Show but flies off the rails. Seth Meyers nails Fox News' stunning hypocrisy about Biden-Putin summit. Fox News is finally honest about Trump in Daily Show Supercut. Stephen Colbert gets his entire audience to troll Texas in unison. Trump named two of his biggest enemies, and Jimmy Kimmel is absolutely mystified. Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio reportedly selling Black Lives Matter t-shirts to get by. Kim Kardashian reveals where she stands with Kanye West today. Kylie Jenner details the extreme measures she took to hide her pregnancy. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Cops, 19-year-old dies after swallowing drugs. Con artists capitalize on cryptocurrency craze. Family finally gets remains 1 year after death. Girl Scouts have 100K unsold boxes of cookies. Schools offer $3K bonus for bilingual teachers. Officer helps wrangle snake from inside car. River dredging hopes to remove 4,000 truckloads of muck. Arrest made after Pride crosswalk vandalized. Murder victim found in backyard feared sister. Taco truck attracts pilots from all over FL. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, the New York Times. Residents and revelers clash over Washington Square Park. Time the knot 5 years and 175 dining experiences later. Kids, COVID and Delta. EU recommends opening to Americans to rescue the summer. Iranians vote for a new president, but mood is pessimistic. Iran activists surge election boycott, racy likely winner. How New York City's law department got hacked. Who is Opal Lee, her campaign to make Juneteenth a holiday. What does it mean to be crowned Miss Juneteenth? Welcome to the Take This Job and Shove It economy. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Brandi Glanville says she and Leanne Rimes are like sister wives after a decade of fighting. General Motors to help build hydrogen-powered jets. Iran votes in presidential poll tipped in hardliners' favor. Michael Costello responds to Chrissy Teigen's claim bullying messages are fake. Hall of Famer John Stockton faces scrutiny over appearance in anti-vaccine documentary. AOC says bipartisan deals underserved communities. Doctors warn over TikTok challenge involving fake tongue piercings. Bills Cole Beasley calls NFL's updated COVID-19 protocols crazy. Miami restaurant owner turns to robot server amid worker shortage. Martin Sheen on son Charlie Sheen's sobriety, his recovery and his life is a miracle. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Friday, June 18th. The next headlines are from the seventh most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Fourth stimulus check, will you get another relief payment? The next headlines are from the eighth most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Care homes should come out of lockdown more slowly than rest of country on July 19th, Sage says. Gerard Depardieu to perform alongside Carla Bruni at concert in France despite rape charges. A brawly good time, glamorous royal Ascot revelers whip out their umbrellas. Meghan Markle will return to the UK next year, friend Omid Scobie reveals. Kate Middleton carries out engagements to launch the Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood. Double-jabbed Brits could be able to go abroad to nearly 170 countries from next month. Coronavirus, on survey sees COVID cases in England rise 8% to 105,000. Caroline Crouch murder, husband covered up murder so he could raise daughter. Coronavirus, Gavin Williamson urges parents and school children to keep testing themselves for COVID. England vs Scotland, Euro 2020 live, build up, team news and updates. The following headlines are from the ninth most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. In nationalizing Juneteenth, the U.S. is still late to the hemisphere's party. COVID-19 live updates, CDC lowers warning for cruises, recommends only fully vaccinated travel. NSA to NSO, NY filmmakers explore circles of surveillance. US-Canada border restrictions extended until July 21st. Major U.S.-led war games wind up in northwestern Africa. UN re-elects Antonio Guterres as Secretary General. Namibian chief urged German reparations dies the virus. Israel to provide Palestinians 1 million doses of coronavirus vaccine. Mothers in sister cities, finding lessons from the pandemic in Germany and Virginia. A dispirited electorate votes for president in Iran, where the result seems all but assured. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Croatia v Czech Republic, Euro 2020, live. COVID hive, Delta variant becoming globally dominant, WHO says as expert calls Africa's case trajectory very concerning. Utah school omits teen with Down syndrome from cheer team photo. Republicans slap down Manchin's voting rights compromise, U.S. politics live. Drinking straw device instant cure for hiccups, say scientists. Daredevil motorbike rider Alex Harvell dies during world record jump practice. Low election turnout could spell trouble for Iran regime, experts say. Ukraine's inseparable couple detend cuffs and go separate ways. Early frontrunner Andrew Yang slips in New York mayoral poll. Joe Biden's foreign foray is all about shoring up democracy, in the U.S. Henry Farrell. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Biden is playing a long game with Putin, will it work? Analysis. Alaska hiker recounts encounter with bears, is this the way I'm going to die? AstraZeneca claims victory in tussle with EU over deliveries. Warrant, mom made daughter bury sister, 4, in backyard. Virginia marijuana legalization timetable has many confused. Shark bites Florida man swimming near fishing line. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Apple Daily, Hong Kong police raid sparks rush on newspapers. Iranians vote in presidential election marred by disqualification row. Alu Kojia, Liberian convicted of war crimes in Swiss court. Tokyo Olympics, no spectators is least risky option. Foo Fighters to release disco album as the DGs. Crocodile attack, I was beating on its snout. COVID, Israel to send 1 million vaccines to Palestinians in swap deal. California heatwave, state declares state of emergency. Scarlett Johansson criticizes Black Widow's hypersexualization in Iron Man 2. Alex Harvell, U.S. daredevil dies during world record attempt. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Detroit freeway shooting kills toddler, leaves 9-year-old boy fighting for his life, police say. Trailblazing American women, like Maya Angelou and Sally Ride, to be face of U.S. quarters starting in 2022. Museum plans to rebury black skulls in collection. A gay couple faced harassment for 5 years. Handwriting analysis led to a suspect, a neighbor. The day in pictures. Juneteenth is a celebration of freedom from slavery, but it didn't mean freedom for all. AP NORC poll, more Americans resume pre-virus acts. Michigan to lift restrictions next week, U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan lockdown amid case surge, latest COVID-19 updates. Black girl magic at its finest, Juneteenth pageants let women, girls be unapologetically black. Miss Juneteenth is a different kind of pageantry, educating youth and honoring ancestors. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Column 1, in Redondo Beach, it's homeless court al fresco, with love. For indigenous street vendors, offering free meals in LA is more than charity. San Bernardino County fails to ensure school spending gets to its neediest students, state says. Lawyer in LA sexual harassment case seeks Garcetti aides private Facebook posts. Podcast, The Fight for a Beach once owned by a black family. Earthquake, magnitude 3.5 quake strikes near El Centro, California. Earthquake, magnitude 2.7 quake reported near 3 Southern California beaches. Judge says sweeping LA criminal justice reform measure is unconstitutional. Costa Mesa couple became aware they had killed Aiden Leos 1 week later, prosecutors say. Forward progress stopped in Lancaster brush fire. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Friday, June 18th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More from other news sources is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. MRNA vaccine yields full protection against malaria in mice. Spider apocalypse hits Australia as clouds of cobwebs blanket landscape. Hong Kongers queue to buy Apple daily copies after editor-in-chief arrested. Nazi invasion of Soviet Union was murderous barbarity, commemorating the upcoming 80th anniversary of Operation Barbarossa. German President Steinmeier said the suffering of the former Soviet people should be burned into Germany's collective memory. Ukraine arrests ransomware gang in global cybercriminal crackdown. Euro 2020, footballers told to stop moving sponsors' drinks at news conferences. This is really, really bad. Scientists on the scorching U.S. heat wave climate crisis in the American West. Almost all of UK's coronavirus cases are Delta as variant infections rise by more than 33,000 in a week. I paid on the bus, I got choked, victim testifies in Toronto officer's assault trial. Octopuses and lobsters have feelings, include them in sentience bill, urge MPs. Shanghai Museum apologized for an exhibit that rated 5,000 female university students from prettiest to ugliest and removed it from display. The new Israeli health minister decided to transfer 1.2 million Pfizer vaccines to the Palestinian Authority in the next few days. Austria tries to prevent sanctions against Belarus due to its bank's interests, Politico. Yorkshire anti-masker faces up to 6 months in Singapore prison after riding train without face covering. At least $250 million in UN humanitarian aid intended for refugees and poor communities in Lebanon has been lost to banks selling the local currency at highly unfavorable rates, a Thomson Reuters Foundation investigation has found. The next headlines are from Forbes. Trump says critical race theory borders on psychological abuse. Martin Sheen and Luke Wilson want 12 Mighty Orphans to be America's next great sports film. Boston Celtics reportedly trade Kemba Walker to Oklahoma City Thunder for Al Horford. Kyle Busch raises awareness for pet adoption as he chases NASCAR history. Putin has missed a chance to make the peace. Concert streaming was a lifeline for the music industry during COVID. This ex-Salesforce exec is making it part of the post-pandemic future. Take the lead, strategies of winning leaders. Juneteenth, slavery, and the hurricane connection. BTS, Department of Justicia Cat, Justin Bieber, Olivia Rodrigo or Dua Lipa, who will win Song of the Summer in 2021? Chicago Bulls have decisions to make on key veterans this offseason. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Better together, collaborative spaces can inspire scientists of all ages. How scientists are embracing NFTs. Author correction, assembly of synaptic active zones requires phase separation of scaffold molecules. How 3 missions to Venus could solve the planet's biggest mysteries. Daily briefing, why humans are so thirsty. Communities, COVID and credit, the state of science collaborations. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,712,557,929 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Charlize Theron hosting F9 feed screening to benefit Africa Outreach Project. First look, MPX launches coming-of-age horror movie Student Body at Cannes Virtual Market exclusive. MK2 Films boards musical film Done One with Tahar Rahim, Virginie F. Era exclusive. Lena Waithe, stories by filmmakers of color aren't only personal, they can also be profitable. Complicated moms are finally grabbing the spotlight in physical, Girls 5 Viva, hacks. Netflix, Ghetto Film School launch winning films from program for emerging black directors exclusive. Elizabeth Moss and Gillian Anderson on spending their 20s on TV, playing Margaret Thatcher and the post-Trump Handmaid's Tale. Game of Thrones co-executive producer Vince Giraudis unveils Italian project Providenza exclusive. Love Actually's Bill Nighy looks dapper in first image from Oliver Hermanus and number 9 films Living. Inside Chris Harrison's shocking downfall as The Bachelor host, and a $9 million payout exclusive. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Museum head, baseball's embrace of Negro Leagues is an atonement, not a validation. Oregon's pioneering drug decriminalization experiment is now facing the hard test. Biden signs into law bill making Juneteenth a federal holiday. As U.S. troops prepare to leave Afghanistan, local allies are left behind. North Korea's Kim vows to be ready for confrontation with the U.S. U.S. Catholic bishops have heated debate before end-of-week vote on communion. Israel launches airstrikes after incendiary balloons are flown from Gaza. The couple who waved guns at BLM protesters plead guilty to misdemeanors. Notable women will be honored on U.S. quarters. Manchin offers a voting bill compromise, but key Republicans swiftly reject it. The following headlines are from The Week. Biden gets called out for disappointing Trump-like habit of hiring senior aides children. HBO Max sends subscribers bizarre integration test email, blames the intern. Biden's silence on capital punishment is irking fellow death penalty opponents. Can Biden break out of the presidential approval trap? Great Britain has its first Catholic prime minister, to the great surprise of most Britons. The Victoria's Secret fantasy I grew up with is gone. Is the new one any better? Biden's anti-poverty measures are stumbling out of the gate. Jimmy Fallon and Stephen Colbert cheer the new Juneteenth holiday, jeer the 14 congressmen who voted against it. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Threat of anti-trans legislation makes gender-affirming care harder to provide. Texas expands access to medical cannabis, but advocates say it's not enough. The next headlines are from Universe Today. The lunar lantern could be a beacon for humanity on the moon. The largest rotating objects in the universe, galactic filaments hundreds of millions of light-years long. These are the news headlines for today, Friday, June 18th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Astronomers spot largest rotation in the universe. The sad fate of krill in the Southern Ocean. Moon and spike at June 18, 1920. Methane on Enceladus, a possible sign of life. Poison mushrooms, how to tell. Longest sunset happen around the solstice. The next news is from Politico. Europe needs to stop fixating on Silicon Valley, says EU Commissioner. Polish politicians hit by large-scale cyber attack, Russia blamed. Rendell, Sestak not cataclysmic. Biden-Putin summit gives U.S. allies hope of better Russia ties. Temple of Gloom, restoration at the Acropolis causes uproar. George Floyd's murder transformed America. Beto O'Rourke, Jaime Harrison back Manchin voting rights compromise. North Korea's Kim vows to be ready for confrontation with U.S. As long as the party embraces Trump, it's going to have trouble. I made Juneteenth very famous, the inside story of Trump's post-George Floyd month. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Western Bulldogs face quarantine after heartbreaking loss. Our children are more than economic units. Coffee carts and free food aren't enough to reverse these changing times. Passing the buck on Nuke's fiasco, a bad look for ASIC. A hard sell, the Aussie dad battling to get his ISIS bride daughter home. Investors ditch the CBD for improved value and yields. Concrete block church gets heavenly reincarnation. McGraw strikes deal with new ground capital. Good weekend super quiz and Saturday target time, June 19th. Azure investments to flip multi-level domain car park. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. I am so relieved, people with Obamacare health insurance react to Supreme Court decision. Brace yourself, here's why inflation could create a giant wealth transfer from lenders to borrowers. 5 smart ways to shift your investments as the Fed gets ready for a big move. Metal stocks, gold futures rise, but stay on track for biggest weekly drop since March 2020. Bye, angels, hello, athletes, Megan Rapinoe sparks chatter as new Victoria's Secret ambassador. Most workers say companies should take action on racial injustice, but they haven't heard a C-suite talk about the problem. Coronavirus update, US moves to fill gap in treatments for COVID, as Delta variant creates worrying spike in new cases in the UK. What is Juneteenth? Weekend sip, for Father's Day, consider making dad a member of this boozy club. Help me retire, I'm 62, unemployed, living off my savings and waiting on Social Security. Can I go fishing for the next 25 years and forget about work? Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Too few women get to invent, that's a problem for women's health, manufacturing business technology. Fewer women receiving biomedical patents means fewer inventions to treat women, FIS.org. Strategies for pharma patent litigation, IAM. Patenting plant inventions via the EPO after G3/19, IAM. Protecting patent rights in the life sciences in India, IAM. Market gears up for biosimilar boom in 2023 as Humira exclusivity draws to a close, Helio. Inventorship rulings show Fed, Sarah's sympathy for a good story, Bloomberg Law. Australian innovation patent system approaches the finish line, Lixology. Indian-American chemist Sumita Mitra wins European Inventor Award 2021 in the non-EPO countries category, The Tribune. NASA, notice of intent to grant an exclusive, co-exclusive or partially exclusive patent license, BSK Health Partners, LLC, Space Ref. The next headlines are from Quartz. How much to tip in a post-pandemic world? We will never really know if the COVID-19 lockdowns were worth it. A niche Chinese Gen Z meme is ringing alarm bells for Beijing. Should Americans still wear masks? Obamacare survives, China's investment in Europe, Juneteenth. Is there really a Nepal variant of COVID-19? Mumbai's third wave of COVID-19 could be twice as brutal as its second wave. Why investors should take India's internet IPO frenzy with a pinch of salt. Watch, Elvest CEO Sally Krawcheck on better options for anti-racist investing. One of African nationalism's greatest champions has died. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Letting newspapers band together to demand payments from internet companies is bad for the internet and bad for journalism. New Guardians of the Galaxy game has game streamers worried over integral music in the game. New Jersey Supreme Court says Attorney General can publish the names of cops who commit serious misconduct. House Transportation Committee looking to restart federal funding of red light cameras. FCC gives ICE $8,000 to deliver broadband 5 feet from Apple's $5 billion campus. Australian official admits that of course Murdoch came up with link tax, but insists the bill is not a favour to News Corporation. Daily Deal, the World Traveller Bundle featuring Rosetta Stone. Canadian Privacy Commissioner says RCMP broke the law by doing business with Clearview. Recent antitrust push is weirdly narrow, pretend telecom and banking don't exist. After 8 years and 3 reviews of the case, Indiana Supreme Court rules police must return seized car to its owner. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. What is Juneteenth Day? Moses Brown. Grand Army. Alex Harville. Carmelo Anthony. Brazil vs. Peru. Ryan Lochte. Zion Williamson. WWE Vince McMahon. Paramount Plus. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Suspect acquitted after cop replaced cocaine with icing sugar to nail would-be Australian trafficker. AstraZeneca must give ADM and COVID-19 doses to EU by September end, judge says as both parties claim victory in shortfall dispute. Antonio Guterres re-elected as UN chief for second 5-year term. First one to shoots a dusty BTCH, McGregor takes cheap dig at Poirier ahead of UFC 264 showdown. Got their bottle back? Euro 2020 teams threatened with fines unless stars stop moving sponsors' drinks. With worrying vaccine hesitancy and recorded cases rising, Moscow mayor says city essentially battling COVID-19 from scratch. Juneteenth is so lame, Candace Owens hammered for criticizing America's newest holiday. Moscow hospitals to deny routine treatment to patients who refuse COVID-19 vaccines, as Kremlin warns skepticism is costing lives. Brexit deals blow to UK food and drinks industry with 2 billion drop in exports to EU, industry body says. UK PM confident restrictions will ease on July 19 after extending lockdown measures for a month. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. The McCloskeys plead guilty to minor misdemeanors in conclusion of St. Louis protest case. They're not going away. Retail trading continued to surge during first half of 2021. Michigan Senate passes legislation to add voter ID requirements, overwhelmingly popular. Fed Bullard spooks markets with taper talk, fears froth. 2Y Treasury yields are exploding higher, yield curve collapse crushes banks. Tokyo allows alcohol for patrons drinking alone as organizers mull Olympic Games crowd limits. You cannot create permanent inflation from artificial growth. The NHTSA is still investigating 2 dozen Tesla crashes potentially involving autopilot. Nomura nails today's Gamma unclench, highlights big buying of credit downside. OnlyFans seeks to raise funding round at over $1 billion valuation. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. How Bulgaria hit rock bottom on press freedom. Montenegro passes resolution condemning Srebrenica genocide. Ugo Udizu, from NBA agent to unifying Africa through sport. Tokyo Olympics, fears mount over potential COVID economic blow. 3 people dead after boat capsizes near Spain's Canary Islands. Israeli forces attack Al-Aqsa protesters during Prophet rally. Myanmar coup displaces thousands as global refugee numbers rise. Rohingya refugees struggle for vaccine and COVID hit India. England Euro 2020 last 16 by breaking Scotland hearts. UK food and drink exports to EU almost halve in first quarter. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot declares racism a public health emergency, diverts $10 in coronavirus funds to boost equity. Nolte, scientists admit covering up lab leak theory to avoid being associated with Trump. Pop star Billie Eilish's actor boyfriend apologizes for racist, homophobic posts as Eilish faces anti-Asian slur scandal. Ronnie Jackson, House Republicans call for Joe Biden cognitive assessment. Portland police riot squad of 50 quits in protest of charges against cop for hitting activist in 2020 BLM riots. Mark Kelly under pressure to recuse himself from Chipman's ATF confirmation over past gun control collaboration. Joe down, poll shows Biden's approval rating dives as Democrats disparate course of nation. Chris Cuomo trashed on Twitter after asking for evidence of his bias. Levin, Biden, military leaders promoting the enemy with critical race theory. Catholic League declares Scottish ruling huge victory for religious liberty. The next headlines are from UPI News. Idaho couple win 2 lottery jackpots in 2 years. Look, alligator found hiding under vending machine at Florida gas station. Escaped elk runs loose next to Wisconsin highway before capture. Look, lost class ring found on Wisconsin campus after 45 years. Watch, briefcase of old photos rescued from trash at New York Park, return to family. Watch, woodpecker destroys nature camera at Russian Nature Reserve. Watch, Nebraska man makes 60 naked skydiving jumps in 24 hours. Look, police capture loose llama running in highway traffic. The next headlines are from Odd, Strange and Bizarre Things. The 7 main roles of technology in business operations. How to survive your first year as a qualified social worker. 22 things you didn't know you can do with your smartphone. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Hanoi circus turns over last 4 show bears to animal sanctuary in sign of changing attitudes. Instead of skipping graduation to work at Waffle House, his boss and co-workers cooked up miracles to get him there. Giant rhinoceros skeleton found in China. This was one of the largest land mammals ever. Miraculous mosquito hack cuts dengue disease rates by 77%. Ryan Reynolds and It's Always Sunny star by bad English football team to turn it around, now in FX series. 10 ornamental flowers you can cook with or eat in salads. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Friday, June 18th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Thousands sign petition to keep Amazon's Jeff Bezos from returning to Earth. Scientists discover a new plant organ. The structure, called a canthal, holds up the flower-bearing arm of the thalcress, a long-studded species. Ricky Schroeder calls Foo Fighters' Dave Grohl ignorant punk for supporting vaccines. Bizarre sign claims Sedgley has seen 3 alien abductions, and blames council for not helping. Japanese man deported for eating cats. ASA cracking down on influencers. Utah family hopes for change, awareness after special needs student excluded from yearbook cheer photo. More women are using marijuana during pregnancy. Gorilla Glue girl starts hair care line selling Forever Hold hairspray. Here's the most commonly used word in Metallica's lyrics. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. This nifty online guide compares AI/ML tools and platforms. The Copernicus mini drone slices through the air, and you decide whether a camera is worth it. You can ace 3 key CompTIA certification exams, and it costs under $25 for the training. AirTags and Find My are ushering in a whole new Apple era. That's so cool, physicists chilled a 10-kilogram object to the edge of absolute zero. Rivian's R1T adventure package sets the standard for electric off-road luxury. Cops summon Twitter India's head over violent video dispute. Too few women get to invent, that's a problem for women's health. Instagram will now pack ads into your Reels binges. These laughable depictions of AI can have serious consequences. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Most cancer cells grown in a dish have little in common with cancer cells in people, research finds. Vaccination, previous infection, protect against COVID-19 Gamma-P1 variant in animal model. New study finds SARS-CoV-2 can infect testes. Blood cancer patients with COVID-19 fare better with convalescent plasma. Comprehensive RNA Atlas. A new rapid assessment to promote climate-informed conservation and nature-based solutions. Sulfur enhances carbon storage in the Black Sea. Beneficial bacteria can be restored to C-section babies at birth. Thin, stretchable biosensors could make surgery safer. If you ride an scooter, take safety precautions. The next headlines are from Information Week. From AI to teamwork, 7 key skills for data scientists. AI ops in the cloud, not so fast. Cloud outage fallout, should you brace for future disruption? The CIO's role in innovation. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Friday, June 18th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. Statements on Pam Melroy's Senate confirmation as NASA Deputy Administrator. NASA DLR study finds sustainable aviation fuel can reduce contrails. NASA Administrator statement on China crude launch. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Trip trails, beat the heat by hiking to Boyd's Bench in Big Cottonwood Canyon. The Weekly Run, re-examining the Utah Jazz's painful lowlights for Wednesday. Some DesNat troops, fearful of being publicly outed, are retreating from digital LDS war. Tarek Mango, small business should embrace this climate solution. MLS's Vancouver Whitecaps have been playing in Utah all season, inside their home away from home. 17-year-old Utah boy drowns in Deer Creek Reservoir. Important and disturbing, Utah leaders surprised by SEC investigation of coronavirus tests. From housing crisis to emergency, Salt Lake County home prices spiked 31% in 1 year. Utah explores new avenues to fund roads. If you drive more, you'll pay more. Raymond A. Holt, American system is good for the rich but not everyone else. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Low-budget games steal spotlight after COVID delays big names. Google open sources fully homomorphic encryption, FHE, toolkit. SpaceX launches advanced GPS satellite for U.S. Space Force, sticks rocket landing at sea. Senate confirms Chris Inglis as Biden's top cyber advisor. White House debuts new maps showing broadband vacuum. Police bust ransomware gang in Ukraine. Nielsen now knows when you are streaming. Report finds phone network encryption was deliberately weakened. Major Australian banks, U.S. airlines briefly hit by widespread internet outages. Google backs Linux project to make Android, Chrome OS harder to hack. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Third High Point Drive-in location coming to Kirkwood. Hiring, Hurricane Harbor giving great perks to new employees. Nominate your Chiefs fan for the NFL's 2021 Fan of the Year contest. Fireworks retailer warns of July 4th shortage, people may be stocking up in Missouri. Heat advisory in effect Friday afternoon. Government offices closed today for first Juneteenth federal holiday. St. Louisans prepare for extreme temperatures Friday. Single car crash closes Bell Fountain Road, investigation ongoing. Woman hit by uninsured driver more than 10 times in 10 years, without ever leaving driveway. Stanley Pup Barkley completes Duo Dogs training, will remain with Blues as ambassador. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Rain showers possible Friday morning as heat wave blazes on. Padres to hold first beer fest of 2021 season Friday evening. Deadly shooting at Dave & Buster's sends customers running for cover. Locals savor sound of live music at first shows post-pandemic. Triumphant return, 40,000 fans treated to walk off Padres win for the ages. Padres fans pack Petco Park, East Village. Man denies murder charge after motel staff find boyfriend's body. How you can get a free month of rides on MTS trolleys, buses. Man admits murdering stepmother in South Bay. Man gets 18 years to life for killing 20-year-old girlfriend. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. Rumors of U.S. secretly harboring top China official swirl. Tax fraud plotter, the latest twists. Oshkosh sex offender found in Las Vegas after cutting off GPS tracker. Hackers can spy on Peloton workouts. Should you purchase the Fitbit Looks or Inspire 2? David Marlowe will be CIA's next Deputy Director of Operations. Here are 5 takeaways from the historic summit between Biden and Putin. Pelotons can be hacked, letting creeps install malware and spy on you. Mercedes C-Class Cabriolet spy video captures sporty exhaust note. How to track someone by cell phone number without them knowing. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. German defense group unveils new autonomous platform. Lockheed Martin offers Ukraine F-16 fighter jet. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. Wet season, a rain-soaked search for love and belonging. 3 Chinese astronauts dock at China's new space station for 3-month stay. China's state broadcaster isn't keen on cleavage. Bishan, revisited, lessons from a rural utopia in central China. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Friday, June 18, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. San Jose small businesses look to bounce back as COVID restrictions loosen. New California workplace mask rules in effect. 1 person shot in Walnut Creek. High temps, dry conditions increase fire danger in the Sierra. Dine English, Red Bay Coffee. San Mateo County Trail reopens after mountain lion sighting. Caught on camera, San Pablo man dragged across yard, robbed. Governor Newsom visits small businesses in Oakland to show support as they reopen. Adults fight during Little League game in eastern Kentucky. Rotating power outage warnings becoming the new normal. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Sweden beats Slovakia 1-0, closes in on last 16 at Euro 2020. Arkush, the Bears have interest in Arlington, but how will the money work? Lawmakers mark Juneteenth with talk of abolition amendment. Convention circuit of delusion gives forum for election lies. The latest, Sweden's penalty beats Slovakia 1-0 at Euro 2020. Republicans point to inflation in bid to retake Congress. Jim O'Donnell, one man has the power to make the Bears at Arlington Park happen. Historic barn inspires a new restaurant in Bartlett. 70% of Illinois adults have received 1 vaccine dose, CDC says. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Amazon, Sound Transit commit $100 MTO Seattle Affordable Housing Project. 3 Washington state beach towns rank among best places to live in the U.S. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Dolores 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Azerbaijan, Iraq, Iran, Jordan, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Chile. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, Iran, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Volcanic eruption is ongoing for Etna in Italy. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Canada, United States. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.5 m, depth 10 km, in Tonga June 17, 2021, 1341 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Friday, June 18th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. President Obama on the keys to democracy survival, healing racial divide. Pedestrian killed in crash with car on FM 1942 in Crosby. SFC Boutique supports trans women with curated shopping experience. Potential Storm 3 engulf will strengthen to a tropical storm before making landfall. Houston tattoo artist missing after taking Uber to see girlfriend a few days ago, brother says. R. Kelly nears okay for new defense team in upcoming trial despite potential conflict of interest. Trivia champs talk about big gambles on Season 2 of The Chase on ABC. Corporations honoring Juneteenth as paid company holiday list. ABC 13's virtual job fair features positions paying $28 an hour. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. NYC mayoral primary will be big test for ranked vote system. F1, Verstappen leads second practice at French GP, Bottas second. U.S. stocks lower after Fed official sees rate hikes in 2022. Brazil still debating dubious virus drug amid 500,000 deaths. AstraZeneca, EU both claim a win in vaccine delivery tussle. Rapper IDK to launch music business program at Harvard. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Acclaimed Underground Railroad historian, losing Washington Heights house would be a travesty. Over 20,000 vaccinated at MTA pop-up sites. A guide to New York City's Juneteenth events and celebrations. COVID segregation is worsening even as New York City's vaccine rollout succeeds. MTA has been in a state of emergency for 4 years. Unlock your strong inside. Farhadi and Weinstein fends off attacks in feisty Manhattan. The debate. Extra, how to live your life the Lindy way. We will not be used. Asian Americans say they won't demonize Black Americans. NYC to create college savings accounts for every public school kindergartner in 2022. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Famine risk spikes amid conflict, COVID-19 and funding gaps, WFP. The energy revolution is here, how to be part of it. For people with disabilities, COVID-19 lays bare the weaknesses in social safety nets. Political impasse in Haiti, amid rising humanitarian needs, ahead of crucial elections. Dooders, bring crimes of sexual violence and conflict out of the shadows, punish perpetrators. Call for political belt-tightening to prevent drought becoming the next pandemic. 1 in every 100 dies by their own hand, each suicide a tragedy, WHO. UN chief urges debt relief extension for middle-income countries. The Caribbean looks to research for answers to COVID-19, NCDs and climate change challenges. Apocalypse Now, Christian fundamentalists and COVID-19. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Frank Bonner, herb on WKRP in Cincinnati, dies at 79. Black Americans laud Juneteenth holiday, say more work ahead. Department of Justice, 2 states transgender restrictions unconstitutional. Cruise giant Carnival says customers affected by breach. Flaw politician allegedly threatened to use Russian mafia hitmen against opponent. Cash payments take center stage in Newsom's first recall ad. Is this Harry Frog real? Disneyland Park secret brick on Main Street, USA. Scotch whiskey makers welcome suspension of costly U.S. tariffs. Biden signs bill making Juneteenth a federal holiday. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Research rebuts claims linking COVID-19 vaccines to male infertility. Presidential vetoes rare in unified government. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. This washable silk dress is what I wear when I'm traveling. Albert's new hemp shorts will be my uniform this summer. The far-righters and foreign operatives running the Hispanic world into COVID hell. Anthony Mackie should know why fans ship the Falcon and the Winter Soldiers Sam and Bucky. Pixar's Luca is a touching ode to childhood friendship and pasta. You probably have a migrant worker to thank for your milk. Nothing prepared me for the horrors of Tulsa and the Red Summer massacres. The man who was Trump before Trump. How to not be a jackass in the outdoors this summer. Forget the 4th of July, it's time to celebrate Juneteenth. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Spotify buys tech startup whose backers include Katie Couric and Paris Hilton. Erica Jane's lawyers are back on the case 2 days after dropping her. Survivors of boat crash involving murdered South Carolina man give DNA samples. How UFC's Korean zombie Chan Sung-yoon can keep career alive. NASA's mission equity quickly ripped as woke critical space theory. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Tests of general relativity with gravitational waves can go awry. The sky this week. Welcome, summer. Breakthrough Starshot, a voyage to the stars within our lifetimes. China successfully launches astronauts to new space station. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. How to watch the full strawberry moon, the last supermoon of 2021. Endangered snake species found thriving near San Francisco airport. Sweltering heat wave threatens 55 million Americans. Tracking the heat wave in the West and Midwest. Will China's fast pace in the space race fuel U.S. ambitions? California drought may have solved mystery of 1965 plane crash. Record-breaking heat wave puts strain on state's power grids. More than 30 pelicans found mutilated along California coastline. Record-breaking heat wave sweeps U.S. Astronauts install new solar panel on the International Space Station. The following headlines are from alienUFOsightings.com. A Glitch in the Matrix documentary explores the dark side of simulation theory. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Mom, 7-year-old daughter found dead inside Connecticut home. Bear shot dead in Japan after 8-hour rampage that left 4 injured. Daredevil Alex Harvell dies while gearing up to perform record-breaking motorcycle jump in Washington. CIT, Helen Mirren does Tonight Show interview from bubble bath. I'm running out of bubbles though. How It Ends tackles last day on Earth with star-studded cast that filmed during lockdown. No one had anything to do. Family of women's rights activist decapitated by gate in Utah sues National Park Service. Muhammad Ali's daughter Rashida marks bittersweet Father's Day with Parkinson's auction. 3 bodies recovered, police still searching for 2 more after 2 birds go missing in North Carolina. CDC eases warnings for cruise passengers. Academic and literary groups blast Republican-led efforts to curtail race education. The following headlines are from military.com. Afghan peace envoy fears pullout will embolden Taliban. Here's how much the Pentagon has spent so far to treat transgender troops. Bear bites Japanese soldier while breaching gate of self-defense force base in Hokkaido. UN proposal seeks arms embargo and democracy in Myanmar. Israel strikes Gaza after Hamas fires incendiary balloons. Army vet pleads guilty to shooting black girl at Iowa Trump rally. Austin, Al-Qaeda could regroup in Afghanistan in 2 years. Judge, woman's confession in death of Texas soldier stays. Hawaii soldier pleads not guilty to murder in wife's death. North Korea's Kim vows to be ready for confrontation with U.S. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Toxic forever chemicals were used to fight Rockton factory fire, causing concern from EPA. Illinois COVID-19 vaccine tracker, daily data updates on the state's vaccination effort. Chicago Air and Water Show replaced with Blue Angels only event this year, city announces. Maywood man charged with murder in 2020 expressway shooting. Gold Coast carjacking, shooting, leaves man critically wounded. Daywatch, Juneteenth becomes newest federal holiday, Bears open door to Soldier Field exit and Gordon Ramsay to open first Chicago restaurant. Column, in 93-year-old Francis Hall's life, there's a history of race and America. Column, after 23 years and a head full of your stories, this is goodbye. Column, forget Soldier Field, move the Chicago Bears to Arlington International Racecourse and draft some horses. Police board votes to fire Officer Patrick Kelly, the cop involved in controversial shooting of his friend. The following headlines are from FIS.org. The lunar lantern could be a beacon for humanity on the moon. Organic farming could feed Europe by 2050. Researchers dig deeper into how cells transport their waste for recycling. Stop-motion photons, localized light particles on the road. Researchers identify microbe that protects bees from fungal infections. Scientists design superfast molecular motor. Darwin got sexual selection backward, research suggests. Student experiments to blast off from NASA wallops. The ongoing urban exodus. Overseas climate change could devastate the UK. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Friday, June 18th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. How to keep your workout routine into old age. As the West's mega heat wave peaks, satellite imagery reveals explosive growth of wildfires. How tiny soil organisms could help farmers adapt to climate change. Psychologists explain why you cannot remember the movie you just watched. Loons in Canada and Wisconsin are struggling, but not in New England. Why? Plastics in the deep time record. Could this millennia-old remedy become a pharmaceutical marvel? CBD benefits, full guide and 6 best brands. The 11 best dog food brands. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Portugal mayor, protesters' details were given to embassies. Recall effort against second Oregon State GOP senator. County where Amwad Arbery Lane hires black police chief. Mexican elderly lose work as grocery baggers, protest. Lawmakers mark Juneteenth with talk of abolition amendment. AC Milan signs defender Tomori from Chelsea after loan spell. AP source, Celtics Walker, 16th pick to Thunder for Horford. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Chrissy Teigen alleges Michael Costello faked bullying messages. Tokyo Olympics, who's in, who's not on U.S. women's soccer team. Next generation battery may unlock the future for electric vehicles. CHP, Governor Newsom assaulted by aggressive person in Oakland. Why Warriors center Wiseman was left off NBA's all-rookie teams. Man wounded in East Oakland shooting. Kurtenbach, the Giants are the best team in baseball and that doesn't have to make sense. Bay Area heat wave expected to lose only a little of its sizzle. Bloom Energy leases big building in Fremont Advanced Tech Park. A Northern California reservoir is expected to fall so low that a hydropower plant will shut down for first time. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Biden issues Juneteenth holiday proclamation for all Americans. Juneteenth gives federal employees 44 pay days off each year, study. How Congress, trial lawyers, unions hobble the U.S. in race with China to develop driverless cars. North Korea's Kim Jong-un vows to be ready for confrontation with U.S. Biden gives Putin a pair of Massachusetts-made aviators. Lori Lightfoot, Chicago mayor, declares racism a public health emergency. Ronnie Jackson, House Republicans push for Joe Biden cognitive test. Pro-death penalty Republicans ask Oklahoma governor to halt execution. Jay Inslee, Washington governor, recall petition dismissed by judge. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Hacked emails give unfiltered view into the Washington, D.C., police gang database. U.S. sanctions on Cuba and Venezuela hamper the global fight against COVID-19. Joe Manchin gets candid with billionaire donors in leaked audio. House takes first step to claw back war powers from White House. Biden's defense budget is a big win for hypersonic weapons contractors. ICE discussed punishing any grand advocates for peaceful protests. Bolivian ex-minister of defense plotted a second coup using U.S. mercenaries. The G7 upheld vaccine apartheid. Officials from the global south are pushing back. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Friday, June 18, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Dragonflies, species losses and gains in Germany. Moderate and vigorous physical activity attenuate arterial stiffening already in children. An acceleration of coastal overtopping around the world. Depression in dads of preemies deserves more attention. Surprising spider hair discovery may inspire stronger adhesives. Pregnancy outcomes are affected by both maternal and paternal inflammatory disease. Personalized medicine, not X-rays, should guide forearm fracture treatment in older adults. Impact of a national tender system on biologic and targeted drug costs in Norway. Passive smoking and air pollution, links to arthritis development and poor response to therapy. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Bears sign TE Jake Butt, 2 others. Authorities identify Rogers Park teen killed in Lakeshore Drive crash near Gold Coast. 11th hour compromise reached on civilian police review over Lightfoot's objections. Much scaled back air and water show planned for August. Man critically wounded during attempted carjacking in Gold Coast. Things to do in Chicago for movie fans. Things to do at museums in Chicago. Things to do with kids in and around Chicago. The birthday cake, no matter how you slice it, star-studded mob film still seems undercooked. Chicago outdoors, notes on nursing fun, clear Chicago River, rip current, fans at Bassmaster Classic. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Friday, June 18, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Openings and closings, Barrel of Monkeys Hospitality launches, Lane's Chicken Fingers Houston. Texans GM Case Rio, decision on Watson coming closer to training camp. Houston's 5 best weekend food bets, where to get grub this Father's Day. Alan Hill says yeah to love. Upcoming Houston food events, there's a new hot sauce in town, plus an epic chef's festival. Best virtual bets, Juneteenth, a 90s cabaret, and Make Music Day. 10 years of Rolling the Bones, Shaky Graves returns to Houston. Houston Astros in the mix at several spots for 2021 MLB All-Star Game. The next headlines are about world records making news. Alex Harville, U.S. Daredevil dies during world record attempt, BBC News. Buckinghamshire teen pilot halfway in solo round the world record bid, BBC News. Daredevil, Alex Harville, crashes during world record attempt in Moses Lake, KHQ right now. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Get a look inside Star Wars, Queen's Hope, as Padme makes a tough decision. How the FBI is trying to break encryption without actually breaking encryption. I hate recycling. How my robot vacuum got me through the pandemic. Updates from the Suicide Squad, John Wick, Chapter 4, and more. Why Venus is soon to be the most exciting place in the solar system. The best Android 12 features we've found so far. This weird air filtering face mask picked the worst possible time. Pornhub's parent company MindGeek faces lawsuit for allegedly hosting non-consensual sex videos. Pickpockets in Brazil are reportedly going after smartphones to clean out victims' bank accounts. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Java in Oman at 120.74 degrees Fahrenheit or 49.3 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was University WIID in Dome Fuji at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Pornhub sued for allegedly serving underage, non-consensual videos. Ring gave cops free cameras to build and promote surveillance network. Arcade 1-Up pinball cabinet review, fine for families, interesting for modders. Apple and Google's AI wizardry promises privacy, at a cost. Rocket report, China launches crew mission, SpaceX runs into road troubles. Game Boy Advance game gets split-screen multiplayer through new FPGA car. Newly discovered vigilante malware outs software pirates and blocks them. Amazon joins Apple, Google by reducing its App Store cut. A number of recommended Nintendo Switch games are on sale today. The following headlines are from Raw Story. A huge victory, Biden administration moves to restore protections shredded by Trump. Man ran over and killed by responding officers' patrol car after calling 911 for help. Missouri Republicans' favorite anti-tax law could blow up in their faces and end up defunding the police. Vast evidence that Donald Trump committed crimes, former Department of Justice official pushes Merrick Garland to relook at Mueller probe. Rats get bats. Boston cops under investigation for threatening posts in response to Capitol riot probe. A second insurrection, the real mission behind Republicans' absurd Arizona audit. Delusional Trump fans are convinced he'll be reinstated as president, but they cannot explain how. The FBI was MIA as violence and threats piled up before the Capitol attack on January 6, former Department of Justice lawyer. GOP's collapse in Michigan stronghold, a warning light for Republicans still embracing Trump, report. Matt Gaetz goes off the deep end in latest unhinged Newsmax rant. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Nothing proves the end of bipartisanship like gun control. Republicans declare war on Biden's non-existent plan to grab farmland. Your yoga pants are spewing microplastics into the environment. More chess stars are denouncing a cheating billionaire. The House voted to finally overturn the 2002 Iraq War authorization. The Supreme Court just voted to uphold Obamacare. Critical race theory panic is everywhere, just in time for Juneteenth. How a retired Louisiana teacher bagged the Green Nobel Prize. How the fossil fuel industry convinced Americans to love gas stoves. Yes, we have an aristocracy in America, and it's thriving. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Opinion: the UFO report won't change minds, but maybe it should. Tulsa World. Alien Renaissance, the monthly. As a scientist, I want to believe in UFOs, but, CNN. Column: the UFO report won't change minds, but maybe it should. The Salem News. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. The stem cell assay market to grow through mergers amongst market participants. The Courier. Presence of certain stem cells linked to non-genetic resistance mechanisms of cancer cells. News Medical Net. Predicting resistance to anti-cancer drugs. Uric Alert. Early amphibians moved to land came with a spine switch up. Futurity. Research News. Next super stocks on the move. AIML Innovations. OTC. AIMLF. Globe Newswire. Aptinics to participate in upcoming investor conferences. WV News. Make more mistakes. It's good for you. Business to community. They identify a neural stem cell niche. Explica.co. Explica. 2 previously unknown brain cell types have been discovered in mouse study. Science Alert. Cerebral modifications in glaucoma and macular degeneration. EB. Dove Medical Press. The next items are the top results for news about longevity and immortality. Can death be cheated? Study finds aging is unstoppable. India Today. Study finds the aging process is unstoppable, despite your best efforts. Women's Health. They discover the metabolic key to immortality. Explica.co. Explica. Aging process is unstoppable, finds unprecedented study. The Guardian. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Friday, June 18, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. The Truth About UFOs and UAPs, with Lou Elizondo and John Greenewald. John Reeves' Alien Encounter, Beer and Billy Cox. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Friday, June 18, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.